Hi everybody, Spider-Kel back once again for the second part of the Optimus Prime cosplay. Over a year ago I made a video about the Optimus Prime cosplay that I'd made, and I was kind of saying that part 2 would come along and that I would create, show how I'd made all the different pieces. Obviously it's, as I say, it's over a year later and I never really made the second part. There's a number of reasons why I didn't, I don't want to really go into it. However, what I am doing currently is I am completely rebuilding and repairing the Optimus Prime cosplay. I've worn it to quite a number of conventions, to quite a number of events. Even the last time I wore it was for work, for an event there, which was quite an interesting thing to do, to actually be at work and be doing the thing that you're passionate about. So what I've decided to do is to kind of start doing these videos again, because I have had a couple of people asking where part 2 is, and it is something that I've thought about kind of restarting. And with people asking where it is and what's happening, it's kind of maybe decide this is probably a good time to do it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the second part by the head, which you'll remember from part 1. And I'm not going to remake it, because I still like this. It still fits really well after all this time. It's still a really good fit and a really good mold. It's just battered. It's the constant use and so on, and you can tell most of all by the antennas. There's this one's completely out of shape, and there's that one. But there's also little things on it that I want to address and kind of repair. Mostly, as I mentioned in my first one, kind of, you can still see the where I put like the mold in and it became a bit too shiny. The front grille can be a bit more thicker. The mouthpiece is a lot better than it was, but it's a little bit tattered and a little bit like here where the piece, you can still see where the form was and so on. It's not as clean as I would like it. As I've kind of gone along and made a few more things, you can see just behind me there's Lord Zed, which is one that I made after I made Optimus. And now that mask was a lot of fun to make, and I used a few different techniques on that one, which I'm going to incorporate onto this. What I'm basically going to do, and I say new techniques, it's an old classic and it's something that is well used. I'm going to papier-mâché over it. I'm just going to basically put some papier-mâché, some newspaper, just to clean everything up. So get rid of all these lines, all of those bits, give it a fresh paint job, and hopefully it will come out looking a lot cleaner. I've just recently done the same thing with the body, which I had to completely dismantle the body. I had to just take it apart and rebuild it, reuse it, and repaint it. And in doing so, I tried a few different things in papier-mâché, and for the chrome sections I actually used chrome paint rather than chrome spray paint, which gave it a much better look. And the papier-mâché as well has given it such a good look that I'm really pleased with it. So that's moving on to the head and then onto the legs and the feet. So that's what we're going to do first. Now I'm getting all of these things ready because on November 18th I'm actually going to Whitby Comic Con. I'm sure that's not actually what it's called, Whitby Sci-Fi Comic Con. I forget the actual name of it. Some very good friends of mine set that up and run it. I was there last year as Lord Zed, and I'm going back there again this year as Optimus Prime. This convention is one that I really love. I went there, as I say, last year was my first one, but this one, a lot of the proceeds and a lot of the things that they do there, the money goes towards cancer research, which is a wonderful cause. It's a fantastic event and I thoroughly enjoy it. So I hope to see you all there. It would be really good to meet a few people there. But that being said, there's links down in the description below to the Facebook page, and also where you can get some tickets. So if you're interested and you're in the area of Whitby, then it would be really good to meet you. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. But what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to do the work to this, link it all together. I don't think I'm going to film myself doing it. A lot of people do that, where they film kind of like the making of, and this is me doing this and so on. I don't like that. I'm quite particular that when I'm working on something, I just like to get on with it. I don't like to be distracted with cameras or people watching me. It puts me off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of, as I'm going along, I'll keep stopping and starting and showing you the progress and showing you what I've done and how I've done it. But I'm not going to do any sections where I'm kind of like speeding up the process or anything. I'm not going to do that. That's not my thing. So hopefully you'll enjoy that all the more. But yeah, so we're going to crack on with this. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these, because all these are bits of metal with foam, and that's why they've kind of bent and moved and so on. So basically I'm going to take these out, and I'm going to redo these with card. I'm just going to basically get some card, make it a bit thicker, then papier-mâché over it. So that's the plan for them. That's the only thing you'll see me do on camera. So that's my plan for that. I'm going to say I'm going to papier-mâché over it. The same on the front there. I'm actually going to put a bit of thick card there just to pronounce it out a little bit more. I'll be taking the glasses out just so that I can obviously papier-mâché without worrying about covering up the glasses. But they'll be going back in because they're still in fantastic condition. They still really do the job. But I think just giving it a coat of papier-mâché will just hide the imperfections, hide the lumps, and it'll just give it that much more of a smoother look. So here's hoping. Let's get to it. And here we go with all the pieces attached now. I brought it outside because the lighting's a little bit better out here than it is in the garage. But you can see there, the glasses came out the eyes really nicely. Just a little bit of damage in the corner there, but it wasn't too bad. In this light as well, you can kind of see why it needs just a lot of touch-ups. There's a lot of paint faded off, scrappy bits around there where I've tried to cover it up and it just hasn't worked. But anyway, this went on really well. The thicker piece of card just for a definition on the front, and when I did it, I then made this kind of, it's almost like a 1/4 inch trim that goes around the edge just to give it a little bit of definition, a little bit of 3D look, and I'm really liking that. Once that's been painted, it's going to stand out really well. The spikes, as you can see, are a lot more prominent, a lot thicker, a lot better than they were before. They were actually a little bit taller. They were up to here, which I was toying with the idea of keeping, but then looking at a couple of reference photos, if I just put them in, it depends really on what picture you look at, but his spikes, or the ears, or whatever you want to call them, are usually around about either the same height as the top of the chrome here, or they are a little bit longer. I've gone for the longer ones. I like the look of that. But yeah, they were a lot longer, and I think they were just going to impede walking around with my already 6'6" height on top of it. But yeah, no, I'm really liking that. It gives it a good look, and I think once it's all been painted in its uniform, then it'll look a lot better. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're up to. So we're going to take it into the house. There's a lot more room in there, and we're going to start papier-mâchéing. So we'll see you soon. Okay, it's quite a few hours later, and as you can see, the papier-mâchéing is going quite well. It does look a little bit clumpy and messy at the moment, but obviously I'm going to try and give it a second coat. In other areas it looks pretty good. Kind of pleased with the top half there, and the indent you can just see there. It's not as prominent as it was before, but it's perfectly, you can still see it, so it's ideal. I've got kind of like round to the side here, just starting my way, making my way around here, preparing to do the back antenna. I've also done the back, but because I had to lay it down at one point, it kind of smeared. So yeah, so I'm kind of leaving it there for now. I have to go and pick my son up from school, so I'll do that, let it dry for a few hours, and then once the kids are in bed tonight, I'll carry on and see how we go. But pleased with it so far. It's actually my first time doing papier-mâché with the flour and water recipe. I've always used PVA glue and water. I have used flour and water before in the past when I was a kid. Used that quite a few times, but yeah, for a lot of the things I made recently it's PVA, so I've never really used it for something like this. But yeah, it looks alright at the moment. I'm kind of pleased, hoping that it's going to dry and dry off and look quite nice. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So just wanted to give you a bit of progress, and we'll flash to when it's all finished.
And so as you can see, everything has now been paper mache. And yeah, it's come out really, really well. I actually had my son Daniel helping me out with this in the end. When he came back from school, he was sticking some of the paper in the glue and then handing it over, so it was quite nice having his help with it as well. But yeah, it seems to have come out really quite smooth as well. There's not really any imperfections that I've found so far. It's still obviously drying and not quite as dry yet. It'll probably take overnight and then probably a bit into tomorrow as well to get it fully. That's still really wet because that's the last thing I did. But yeah, no, I'm really pleased with it. It's looking fantastic, and this has definitely gone. You can't really tell this now because it's dried and it molds into each other, but once I paint this blue, and then what I'm going to do is put some silver bits of cardboard interlaced in there rather than just painted silver with black lines. I'm actually going to put some silver card like overlapping each other, just to give it even more depth, and that should come out really well. So, and then around the eyes are still very wet, but yeah, so I'm just waiting for it to dry, then I can get it primed and then get it painted. So, but really pleased with it. It's looking really good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to upload these videos now, and then once it's dried and ready for painting, I'll upload some more videos on the progress. But at least this way you can see like the progress I'm making so far. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed it. So until next time when we come back for the painting, I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I will see you in the next one. So take care everyone, see you soon.